Welcome to Chakra Savvy, formerly Jess on the Mountain. I'm Jessica Goulding. Last week, we went through a little energy scan, and I encourage you to try it out on the daily, all week. Even if you did it just a couple more times since then, I'm wondering how it went. I want to do a little check-in. Are you noticing changes in your mood throughout the day or week? Are more layers of your attitude coming to the surface? Which question that we ask in the energy scan, which one usually provides the most insight into how your thoughts are running and how you're physically feeling at any given moment? Energy, as we saw, is a many-layered experience. I know for me, my energy and perspective have a lot to do with sleep. If I'm rested, the world is a hospitable place. If I'm sleep deprived, everything seems wrong. I worry about small stuff, and I just can't do all the things I'd like to do. It really affects all four of the things we looked at in the energy scan: thoughts, mood, attitude, and body. These four aspects come together to give us our energetic experience. They can help us diagnose when we're off and when we're on. So keeping track or studying or even just noticing our thoughts, mood, attitude, how our body feels can give us a holistic view of where we are now, so we can apply some change and improve our energy. When we improve our energy, that means we feel good. We have the energy to do what we want to do. We have a positive outlook on life. Our relationships flourish. We do better at work. We sleep better, rest better. Just that's why we're working with our energy, because it determines the rest of it, and it is determined by the rest of it. So we're finding where we can employ a little change. What does all this have to do with the chakras? Well, I see this general energy work as the 30,000-foot view. So we're going from grand to granular. So starting with how your whole chakra system is functioning and how you can affect that, I think is a great place to start. Think of this as looking at the whole car before just like tuning into the transmission. I mean, if the car's out of gas or it's missing wheels, we can't know anything about the transmission. What good would it do anyway? Because it won't go. What good is fixing the transmission on a car that's out of gas and can't roll? So that's why I'm thinking, why go right at a third chakra problem if you don't even know what's going on in the whole system? Ready to align your life with your highest intention? Join the Chakra Savvy community for Savvy Intentions, a free new moon intention setting meetup held online every month. Each session focuses on one chakra at a time, embracing the wisdom of the chakra system to guide your intentions and transform your life. This 1-hour online circle is your opportunity to connect with like-hearted souls who love yoga, chakras, and intentional living. Together, we'll harness the power of the new moon, the perfect time to set intentions and plant seeds for growth. Sign up for free today at jessgoulding.com/chakrasavvy. Let's align, transform, and thrive, one new moon and chakra at a time. That's jessgoulding.com/chakrasavvy. So, first, we run that diagnostic check on thoughts, mood, attitude, and body. If you want to go back and do that, you can just listen to the previous podcast episode, and I'll also add to the show notes the link to my blog that talks you through a little bit. The podcast walks you through the experience, and then I put a blog out that kind of gives the instructions, you might say, and that's at jessgoulding.com/blog/energy-scan, which is why I'll just put the link in the show notes. So let's say you realize your attitude is crappy and you wish everyone would leave you alone today. Or your limbs feel heavy and you don't feel like doing your meditation practice or going for the walk you know you need right now. Maybe you didn't get a good night's sleep, or your diet is less than optimal these days. Great. This is great. You're not in denial, and you're noticing this before you let it affect everything else in your day. You're just becoming aware. In other words, you're not identifying with these circumstances. You may feel this way, but it is not who you are. It's just your current experience. Okay, so what do we do with that? Our current experience, we acknowledge, but don't dwell. There's a current, a vibe, a vibration, a resonance beneath all of that that you can tune into instead. And we'll get to that in just a moment. So here's the key. Rather than saying to yourself, so we're going to work with our thoughts here. This is the thought thing. Rather than saying to yourself, I am tired, think there is tiredness. You see how it takes it and takes it out of you and puts it almost where you can see it outside of yourself. Rather than I'm in a bad mood, think there is frustration or there is crankiness in me today. I'm not a bad mood. There is a bad mood. Instead of my stupid back hurts again, how about realize there's a pain signal from my back? The key is to get curious. Simply notice without judgment. Spend a lot of time in noticing without judgment. That is the self-study piece. All of this is not you. It is something you're experiencing. This change of perspective takes time, practice, but it is essential in order to reduce suffering. Anytime we identify with our current state, we are forgetting that we are not our body, our mood, or our emotions. In truth, we are, as the Yoga Sutras remind us, part of divine essence. We are spirit, we are soul, or part of the flow. However you think of it, we are part of something much bigger than ourselves. We are with God. We are made of stardust and carry the spark of the divine. Anything that keeps you from remembering your divine essence is a cause of suffering. It's called a klesha, or a veil to perception. I've taught this before on a different podcast. There are 5 kleshas: ignorance, misidentification, attachment, aversion, and fear of death. I'm not going to go into this right now. It is a side note. I just want to pull this in to remind those of you who study yoga and yoga sutras that we're working with kleshas: ignorance, misidentification, attachment, aversion, fear of death. If you're interested in learning more about the kleshas and those as a root cause of suffering, then you can go to my podcast bundle from my first podcast, which was called Ready, Get Centered, Go. This was my opening talks to my public yoga classes. If you go to my podcast page, jessgoulding.com/podcast, you'll find all the recordings there, plus a PDF listing and defining each klesha. I encourage you to make a little study of them. They're so useful in understanding ourselves and each other and moving ourselves from frustration to resolution. Again, all of this is in the show notes. The kleshas are just too much to go into right now. I just want you to know that when we can't see that we are connected to divine, we are identifying more with what's wrong with our thoughts and our mood and our attitude and our body, then there is suffering and there's a name for it. That's all. If you're interested in names for it, they're the kleshas. Go check it out. So let's just say you've noticed that somewhere in your system, you are off kilter, whether that's your mood, attitude, thoughts, or body, or a big fat combo. Well, what do you do? Well, if your body is sending pain signals, it's giving you information. Likely, there's unconscious tension causing pain or discomfort. Unconscious tension can lead to just about everything that we experience in our bodies that cause suffering, like digestive distress, migraines, jaw pain, even tight quads, wherever you feel that, especially in the back, the neck. This is unconscious tension that comes from thoughts. We're kind of entering a process to get to those things. So the first piece, again, become aware. Unconscious tension causes pain and discomfort. Well, if you're in a bad mood, maybe you're underslept. There's actually a body connection there. If your thoughts are racing, dwelling, cluttered, or overwhelming, you likely have a lot on your mind. And those thought patterns, they need a little reboot or a change of perspective or put them in their place. If your attitude is negative, it could be a defense mechanism, a symptom of burnout, or simply a buildup of toxicity from all the stuff life throws at you. That makes you want to throw your hands up in the air and give up. I don't have one thing that will address all of this, but there is a place to start that is the current beneath it all. It's your inner own. Om, this beautiful sound, is a sacred syllable. It is the vibration of all living matter, and it is what you sound like at your essence. So I propose we employ some movement and oming and see what happens. So in a moment, I'm going to take you through a little practice. Just get ready. Okay. Om is the underlying vibration of all creation and existence. As a sound, its resonance can be used like a tuning fork to bring the disparate parts of yourself together. It is your baseline, aligned with your true divine essence. So we can use Om to remember we are not our thoughts, mood, attitude, or body. Going back to the car metaphor, it puts gas in your tank and realigns your wheels on your machine. It gets you back to the big picture. Om gets you there. Over time, with practice. So I like to couple Om with a little movement for this practice. And the movement goes like this. It begins by touching all 10 fingertips lightly together in front of you. It kind of creates that triangle in front of you. They're in front of the chest, solar plexus. So it begins by touching all 10 fingertips together in front of you. Then, keeping your fingertips together, close the fingers so your hands each have all 5 fingers touching and the 2 hands are touching. So it's like you're making the shape of 2 ovals. Then pull your fingers apart, pull your hands apart, I should say, like you're drawing a string in the air between your 2 hands. So the second and third part, where your fingers close in on themselves and then draw away, those both happen during the sound of Om. On the inhale, you'll bring all 10 fingertips back together. So it goes like this. Inhale as your fingertips touch lightly. As you exhale and chant Om, close your fingers and gently pull your hands apart. As you do this, you're going to imagine all of your busy thoughts, all your negative attitude, or your sour mood and your aches and pains dissolve into the background as you remember who and where you really are, right? Which is the calm essence of divine, inner peace, part of the whole. You are whole. Your current experience is having some challenges. Your fingers are pulling away strings, like you're pulling away strings of ick, like pulling away the veils to your perception so you can really see your deepest self and truest connection. Okay, I keep doing this. That's why my voice, you can tell in my voice, it's coming lower. This is what happens, right? When we work with Om and movement, even just this. So let's try this together. Okay, if you're able, then please sit with your feet on the floor, body upright. Encourage you to close your eyes or at least lower your gaze. This one, it might be helpful to see what your hands are doing. Just have the feeling is good too. Just take a couple breaths, paying attention to how you feel. I'm trying to change anything just yet. Just notice. Breath deepen into your belly. Expand the ribs. Breath out, smooth and easy. Inhale, lightly bring your fingertips to touch. Chant Om as you close your fingers and pull your hands apart. Om. Inhale to touch. Chant to draw. Om. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, touch. Om. 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 Just notice how you feel. When you're ready, let your eyes open or your gaze lift. Coming back to the room you're in. Notice in what way, if any, you have shifted mood, attitude, thoughts, even your body. Now, when you do this practice on your own, and I hope you do this week, I'd recommend doing 12 rounds, 12 cycles, to really give yourself time to settle down to that baseline of Om. Okay? Just see what it does. Make some notes. And now we can ask ourselves, how does this relate to our chakras? Maybe you can think of it this way. Om vibrates at a frequency that resonates with the subtle energy centers in our body, aligning and balancing them naturally. So it's just using sound to come in and subtly shift, moving blocks away, opening up channels so that your energy is flowing. Sound has the capability of doing this. Om is the sound of creation, and your body is part of that. It's part of nature, as is the earth, water, fire, and air. These are typically the elements of the first, second, third, and fourth chakras, and they're the stuff you're made of too. So you're rebalancing kind of the energetic molecules of chakras 1 through 4. Chakra 5 is sound, and Om is the primordial sound and divine symbol that has a purifying effect as you chant from your throat. Remember, chakra 5 is the detox chakra. Chakra 6 is Ajna, there at the brow, and the seed sound, usually associated with Ajna, is Om. It's the realm of intuition and thought, so it's tuning your thoughts to a better vibration. And finally, chakra 7 is Sahasrara, where we are beyond thought and into pure consciousness, which is where we connect with and remember our divine essence, right? And that is how we reduce suffering, as we maintain that connection. So simple movement with intention and sound creates an opportunity to loosen our identification with what's wrong and foster our connection to what's perfect, whole, and complete, aka our highest selves. This takes time and practice, and guess what? It's your homework this week. See if you can do this short experience every day. It's helpful to choose a certain time of day, like 5 minutes before you head into work or right after your lunch break. It's appropriate anytime you notice you're not thinking or acting the way you would like. Pause and do this short practice. Then notice. So before we go, I wanted to let you know that my full spectrum online course, Chakra Savvy Reset Your Life Game Plan, opens for enrollment on January 29th, right after our new moon intention online meetup. If you feel that now is the time to really deepen your knowledge, navigate change, or recover from a great life transition with mindfulness and clarity, then now is the time to sign up for this online deep dive, complete with yoga practices, life application tools and techniques, a supportive community, and a one-on-one session with me. You'll be supported all year as you incorporate intentional living through the chakras and therapeutic and flow practices into your weekly routine. It's a program that you buy and you get to keep for life. You can sign up for Reset Your Life Game Plan waitlist now, as well as the next new moon intention meetup at jessgoulding.com/chakra savvy. And if you're listening to this episode after January 29th, well, then Reset Your Life Game Plan is already available. Anytime you can step into this course when you feel ready to tackle this knowledge and get a deeper understanding and feel better. Honestly, feel better. So as a certified yoga therapist, I've seen how these practices transform lives, helping people align with their highest selves and show up in the world and in their relationships from a place of health and wholeness. It is a beautiful thing to watch. Please join me next week as we consider, what are your energy zappers? You might already know, but let's just see. Next week, we'll talk about energy zappers. And if you haven't yet, please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review. This way, you'll know you won't miss out on a single opportunity to live intentionally, joyfully, powerfully, and beautifully you. So, my friends, may you tune in to your deepest baseline of Om. May you allow the rest to dissolve into the background, even for just a little while. And may you see the world through a clear lens of love, truth, and wholeness. Much love.